right, you can see the map of the PSU campus. Now, the PSU campus is fairly new. PSU itself at this location dates back to the 40s. So this was a Portland neighborhood before that. The park blocks, of course, are kind of the central part of PSU, terminates at the north with Market Street. And right here in the center are the two buildings that we're talking about, Montgomery Building and Blackstone. And you can tell that they're right in the heart of the campus, which I think is quite neat, that there's historic buildings that predate the campus in the heart of the campus. And it's not just those two, but the SBH here is the Simon Benson House, which was moved. The bird's eye on the left kind of highlight the buildings and the Simon Benson House. It's right across from the Student Memorial Union, immediately adjacent to Millar Library. So there is something really intriguing to have historic buildings in the heart of this campus as a callback to what the site used to be. A great study was done and sponsored by the National Trust for Historic Preservation, and Ralph Denola was one of the leaders of that. And this was done maybe 10 years ago. And it compared historic or existing buildings with new buildings as far as their energy efficiency goes and their effect on the environment. And if you take an existing building and you compare it directly to a new building, as far as its energy use, the new building will eventually catch up and overtake the existing building. But if you look at carbon usage, the existing building was done typically, and let's use our two buildings as an example, they were done at a time where you had much less gasoline engine construction equipment building it. So its carbon is embedded now, but its carbon when it was built was very low. So if you're trying to compare that with how buildings are done now, we would extend a lot more carbon into the atmosphere to build the buildings, plus the demolition of the existing buildings would be added to that. And Ralph's study found that if you compare a historic building that has had energy retrofits to a new building, even if it's the highest level of energy efficiency, and you compare them on a chart with energy use and carbon, the new building will never catch up with the historic building. It'll never catch up because that historic building would have been upgraded as far as its energy use goes. And its carbon, as I mentioned, is extraordinarily low compared to the new building.
But we also have other vacant lots that PSU has available right now. There are 5 other properties that they have torn down buildings and built nothing on. So there's a couple different issues. We want to support PSU to be a leader. We want to support a win-win solution for them. PSU does not have great resources for maintaining their buildings. So it tends to be easier to tear them down than to bond for new money to build new buildings. But what is PSU's responsibility and role here to be part of the solution for revitalizing our city? What we're seeing is other cities are leveraging their historic buildings as part of their economic revitalization.
I kind of come back to we've got the sustainability question, the cultural heritage, the importance of the cultural heritage, and there aren't a whole lot of places in Portland that do celebrate women's history the way the Martha Washington does. But then one of the things I just keep scratching my head over is why would you tear down 200 units of housing when you've got, it's going to take a long time to replace, when you already have all that vacant land. I'm trying to see logic here, and I just think we can all ask PSU to press the pause button and please explore this idea of that lend-lease option. There are options I am confident they have not explored, because if they had explored them, I don't think they'd be doing what they're doing. So I always want to assume that people's heads and hearts are, they're doing the best they can with all kinds of different things, pressures on them. Just ask them, please press the pause button and allow us to link arms with them in a supportive way and explore alternatives.
And I think something that we should bear in mind is that we do not want PSU to go down the path of Emmanuel Hospital. We can't keep repeating that mistake. And PSU has the they're right on the precipice of making that same mistake again, and doing something that is going to be harmful to our community, not only for today, but decades in the future. And we don't want to do that. And I know that we don't want to necessarily shame them, but they cannot continue to rest on the laurels of the fact that they and PDC saved the Simon Benson house. I mean, thank you very much for doing that. I worked on that project when I worked at PDC, but we're moving on to a new day now, and they need to really be responsible.